When you put these songs together, where like a lot of bands will they'll start with music and then the singer will come in and the lyrics will have after there's a phonetic melody, a lyrics will be put in. What's the process for putting together a Tommy Lee song in 2020 or in 2019?
That's a really cool question that no one seems to ask. Yep. Nice one. And it's cool because it's different all the time. I don't really have a formula, but either I'll sing a melody, I'll just kind of rough something in, or there's a track on the record called Make It Back. And it's with Julia from Plya. Okay, so this is a really cool, this is a goosebump story.
Okay.
I got the track together. Okay, track's done. I've pretty much Frankenstein and chopped and edited an acapella, and I took the melody and I changed it and I made it what I was hearing, and I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. So I play her the track. She loves the track with no vocal, right?
Right.
She comes over to sing the parts. I go, hey, would you like to hear the melody ideas and stuff? I didn't want to send her it with the melodies and stuff and sort of taint that. And she said, no, I don't want to be inspired by something different. I have some ideas already. I was like, cool.
Okay.
She goes in the vocal booth and we hit record, and dude, my face hit the floor. I was just like, what? She's singing exactly what I chopped together. And I was like,
wow,
how is this possible? She's never heard it before. How is this even possible? So she finishes the track and I go, Julia, do you want to hear the original melodies that I have?
Yeah.
Yeah. Play it. I play it, and she was sitting there, same thing. She was like, how did I sing something that I've never heard before? And how is it so close? And the both of us were like, that's one of those magical moments. I don't think will ever happen again. And I'm so glad I got to experience, because that was some creepy, cool, awesome shit.
Well, and that obviously shows you guys were obviously on a very similar frequency on that.
Dude, that's exactly what it meant, is we were both thinking the same.
Yeah, that's great. And to think that you wrote a piece of music that inspired another person in another part of the world to come up with the same kind, like, it's just, that's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, exactly. Here's this girl from London.
Right.
Who's thinking the same thing that I'm thinking over here, and boom. I don't even know what the that was, dude.
I remember the track you're talking about. I'm looking forward to people being able to hear it, because I think it's these little kind of things that really get people invested, when they hear these kind of things and they're like, it's that's why it's so important for people to, like when you're a kid, you tend to want to dig deeper into records, and like the whole idea of like grabbing the sleeve, there was the mystery, like what's the band all about? And then, you have to rely on magazines for that. So it's cool that there's this platform for people to dig deeper, but people need to dig deeper because there's stories behind everything,
You're absolutely right, man. And that's cool that you even ask those kind of questions, because most people don't.
Well, I guess maybe it's because I have a music background that I know that, Tommy Lee just doesn't come in and just play drums. Like you're invested in this. It's like, the same thing with Methods. I knew, and I think I actually spoke to you about that on Ozfest and Catering one day, about how you put together a song with Fred at the time, So I'm a singer, right? So for me, I don't know anything besides singing. I don't play anything. I've always been phonetic. So I can come up with a melody if you give me music, but man, like someone says, go to a C to a D. It's like, I don't get it, man. And it's weird, but there's a lot of different kinds of music. Some musicians are like that, and successful ones too.
Dude, I know a few of them that's fucking wild, man.
Like I wish, cool. Well, it's not cool because I should have played piano.
Well, it is cool though, man, because some people just have that gift.
Yeah. I'm grateful for it, but I really wish I would have listened when my grandfather bought me that apartment-sized piano, that I would have actually cared about it, and I didn't care about it.
Oh man, that's too bad because that is a really cool. I took piano lessons when I was little, and I fucking hated it. But like honestly, because my parents would be like, "You can't go outside until you finish your scales," and I'd have to do like and I just wanted to go outside and play, you know.
Yeah.
And be a kid, but it was like I had to learn and I hated it at the time, and then I've gone back since then, man, and thanked my parents for making me do it, because it's truly one of those instruments that you can just walk up to and make somebody cry, or make them happy, or just you start writing a song within a few minutes, and you're like, whoa! It's a beautiful instrument.
Well, I've got a 16-year-old boy who's obsessed with it, and it all started with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh,
so when he saw that movie, that was it. That's what got him going. And then he watched The Dirt, and he's like, "Dad, was it really like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was."
Yeah, dude. You know what? That's so funny you say that, because I get a ton of fan mail, and a lot of it is from younger kids that have watched The Dirt, and they're like, I feel like we missed out on something that'll never happen again. Wow.
I mean, I consider myself lucky enough that I was in Los Angeles in '99. I did get to kind of experience the Strip. I got to play all the clubs. I got to hang out with Lemmy. I got to go to his apartment and water his plants because our manager used to manage Lemmy. It was Todd Singerman. So, I got to do a bit of that. But I mean, the heyday, I got to do the LA experience, but it's not like that at all anymore. Not at all.
No way, dude. No way. And with these things, I look back and I'm like, dude, we got away with absolute fucking murder, because there was no Instagram and people knowing your every fucking move. Like, we literally got away with murder before the cell phones.
Yeah. No, I know. I just got out of it right on the tail end of it was MySpace, and that's when I got out. So let sleeping dogs lie.
Yes.
Listen, it's really good to catch up with you again, man. What I've always liked about you is you tend to have this natural, almost like childlike curiosity about music that has not mellowed with age. You're always wanting to know what's up. You've got, a lot of guys from your era would sit back and go, everything new is shit. But that's never been you. That's never been you. No,
man. I listen to music constantly. There's always music playing. I don't know, and I'm always just inspired by, with technology, some of the sounds that you're able to fucking create now, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, it's almost like this. The sky's the limit. Like, anything is possible. So just knowing that pretty much anything that you can hear or dream up is pretty much possible.
And I remember, having known you from Ozfest and from Methods of Mayhem. I mean, even back then, you were collaborating with whoever was at the top of the game, and here you are, 20 years later, still collaborating with people at the top of the game, and still discovering some new people like Killvane, like Push. It's cool to see that you're really in it. So I got to commend you on that, man.
Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, and even with the Methods one, the first Methods record, I was pulling in guys that no one fucking heard of. There was these guys called the Filthy Immigrants.
Yeah.
Who were fucking badass, and no one really knew who they were. There's so much fucking talent out there, dude.
Yeah.
And you probably see it all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do people not know about this person? They're fucking insane.
Yeah.
I follow them. I watch them. I listen to what they've been doing, and I'm like, okay, I got to work with this person. And all of a sudden, as I'm creating the music and the record, I'll be like, oh, Killvane would murder this track.
Yeah.
And then I'll reach out to him, and boom, we collaborate. I've always been a big fan of that, man. I really like collaborating and kind of staying ahead of the game. Like, I feel like I listened back to the Methods record the other day. That was in 2000.
Yeah.
And I was like, there was a lot of I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit, but like ahead of its time, it was really like that was the front of a lot of different styles starting to merge.
Yeah. You're absolutely right about that, because it almost seemed like you were a little too ahead of it.
Dude.
And with Andro, because I've gotten to listen to it through.
You heard the whole record?
Yeah. And you're again a little ahead. I pray that I mean, if anything, when people look back, and this is what I've always liked, like my favorite band in the world is Faith No More. Okay. And to me, Faith No More, I mean, they put out Introduce Yourself in '87. They were so fucking ahead of the game. And
no way, dude. Way.
But unfortunately, sometimes you'll be more beloved than successful with that stuff. But what I sense from you, you don't care about that, because you've had your success. You just want to create badass shit.
Yes, you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. And that's actually cool you said that. It's like you might be ahead again.
I think you are. I'm just telling you, I think you are. But again, you're reminding people of the power of certain genres when they combine, like metal and rap. Like that track, Knock Me Down. Like that would have been like '98, like the peak of new metal. That would have killed. So it's funny to see that generation coming around again and being curious about it. And here's Tommy Lee bringing something that doesn't sound stale at all, that sounds fresh, with this new kid who he murders that track. He really does.
Yeah, dude, his shit's badass.
Here you are again, creating. You got new stuff coming. You're able to get all these people to work with you. Is there a part of you that really doesn't care about the past and it's all about looking forward? I mean,
yeah, full on. I mean, I mean, I love the past. I'm proud of, what I've done. But I'm always, 95% leaning in the full on forward direction and not really looking back, I've always just been that way, man. I'm always I feel like a little fucking kid, always looking for like the next thing, what's the next thing, and I can't sit still until I make it.
Right. And it's, that's been you with your drumming too, you always had to be the bigger, the better, what can I do that could, and like on the last, on the last tour, and I'm going to talk about what was supposed to be happening this summer too, but on that last tour, I mean, what you did with the kit, I mean, that was just, that was mind blowing. Yeah, exactly. Right. It was, and I remember sitting at the Bell Center in Montreal going,
what the f*** is he doing?
This guy doesn't stop. He doesn't, yeah.
You know what, dude? It's funny because it's like that. Like just what you said. I mean, my job is done when you say, what the f***?
Yeah.
What is he doing? That's insane. Like that's what inspired me, because I remember being probably 15, 16 and going to see concerts. I remember standing on the chairs in like the 20th row going like, this is insane. And then it would come drum solo time and I'd look around and people are going to get a beer, going to get a t-shirt, going to the bathroom. I'm like, what? Wait. Dude, he's shredding right now, but no one fucking really cared, So I was like, that was a genius thing for me to recognize, because that made me go, how can I make the drum solo something fucking just fucking unbelievable? And blow some people's minds. And so that's what started it. I was like, okay, well, the first problem is no one can see what the fuck he's doing back there. He's fucking, but all you see is like Muppets, like hair and sticks flying. You don't physically see what's happening, what the feet are doing, the hands. There's fucking 5 things going on at once.
Right.
And I was like, okay, if I just tilt the drums up like this, then everybody's got a bird's eye view, almost looking down. And then obviously that led to well, let me spin it around backwards so they can see where you're playing from behind, and then going this way, and then flying out in the fucking roller coaster. It's just turned into this Frankenstein thing that just has, endless lives. It's like, what's next?
So now that's my question. What was coming on this stadium tour that we were supposed to have? Were people going to be like, I don't know how you're going to top going like this through an arena.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, and was that in the plans? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can't say anything about it.
I know, that's cool. But I can just tell by the glimmer in your eye, even through the sunglasses, that people were going to be blown away.
You don't know how fucking bad I want to
So you guys had some pretty big plans for this, right?
Oh, yeah. Nikki and I had been working for fucking months with our production team. We're like, dude, we're putting together a fucking stadium show. Oh my God, look how much fucking space we get to play with. What hasn't been done in a stadium? And then that's where you start.
Sure.
And so, trust me, there's a massive warehouse in Las Vegas where the production company is. It's all been designed and then just got put away. So it's all sitting there, and it's fucking insane.
Yeah, I can't wait. So let me ask you, how is your, and I want to get back to the record too, because there's a lot to talk about there, but just to ask you, how has your quarantine, how has your COVID situation been? How's it been for you?
Dude, I hate to say this because it's weird to say, but it's sort of with all, yes, there's been a lot of bad stuff happen, but for a guy who doesn't really leave his house that much, and my studio's here, so I guess it sort of hasn't changed much for me.
Right.
Some things have, obviously, but for the most part, dude, I've just been here, and it's kind of f***ed up because I called my manager a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, dude, I almost have another record done. He's like, whoa, hold up, dude. This one's not even out yet. But so I've been basically I've been in my studio just ripping more shit.
Right.
That's been great. It's like, hey, what are we going to do today? Well, can't do this and can't do that and can't do that. So in the studio.
Right. So it's been a productive quarantine, if you will, for you.
Totally. And also, and I tell this to people because I think this is important. I think another thing that has happened that's really cool that I've noticed for me is that, and this is probably true for many people, our daily lives are hauling ass pretty much. For the most part, whether you're working or doing whatever you're doing, you're pretty much flying. And the pandemic has, for me, slowed me down and almost stopped to do some really cool introspection. I'm like,
right.
Whether it's your family life or your relationship or, how you are as a person. It's really got you to slow down, almost stop and go, and just really kind of, maybe even for me, just dial certain things in that I've been avoiding or doing things more that I should be doing more. Like, it's cool, man. There's been a lot of pluses about it. Unfortunately, a lot of negatives, but
yeah.
That's with everything.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, back to Andro. Tell me about Push Push, because this, I have never heard of her before. I watched the video. I listened to the track multiple times. She has got this attitude about her. How did you discover her? Tell me a bit about how that came together. Because I really love the track, but I love her delivery, just the way she puts her words together. And she just looks like she has a great attitude. Like, how young is she?
She, God, I want to say is she 28?
Okay, so she's all right. Because she's like, I mean, she just looks like she just commands it, you know?
Dude, again, I've been following her for a few years because I liked some shit she's done.
Right.
And when I wrote Tops, she was the first girl that came to mind. I was like, oh my God. And you know what it is? It's that South African delivery.
Yeah.
Like if you met her in person, you'd be like, oh, I get it. She's a firecracker. And that's how she comes across on the mic. And she does not give a shit. And you know, I love the way she phrases things. And,
yeah, like I mean, I've always been one of these people because I'm a rock guy, but I'm a massive hip hop fan, like massive hip hop fan.
Nice.
And the first, like I remember, I'll never forget when I first heard Nicki Minaj's verse on Monster.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, what the hell is this? Who is? So I had the same kind of feeling when I heard Push Push. I was like, who is this? Like,
yeah. Yes, I love it, man. I love it that it did that to you. I knew, you know, like I said, I've been a fan of hers and watching her, and I knew she'd be perfect for the track, and she delivered, man. She came over here and ripped that. I was like, okay, got it, cool.
That's awesome. Okay, so also, because I know we have limited time, but I want to ask you about collaborating with Post Malone.
Oh yeah,
and what, you know, he's obviously a big get for you if you're someone that's putting together a record in 2020. He's a great get to have on your album. But
totally.
what was the relationship like between you guys before this collaboration? Was there a friendship? Was, you know, because I know he's a massive rock fan.
Dude, he loves rock music.
Yeah,
he loves it. I don't know if you saw he did like a 2-hour thing of a bunch of Nirvana covers.
With him in the dress. Listen, I wasn't a big fan. I'll be transparent. I wasn't a big fan of his before because I just didn't get it. But after watching that, I said, this guy's got chops. And it forced me to go back and listen to my 13-year-old daughter who's like, Dad, Post Malone, oh my God. So I went and I was like, okay. So yeah, no, I know that the guy's really talented. Yeah,
super, super talented. And, talent's one thing, but to me, like, you can be talented, but you can also be
Right. Yeah, of course.
The dude is he's super cool. He's one of us. Like, he's just a regular dude, loves music, all kinds. And so I've known him for a couple of years. I played on his, not the record that's out now, but the prior one, Beer Bongs and Bentleys.
Yeah.
There's a song called Over Now. We did here in my studio. I played drums on it. We just got together and for drinking beers and like, let's go out there and just smash around.
Right.
And he had a guitar on, and we were just goofing around. All of a sudden, boom! We had this vibe, and this track just came together, and we had a great time. I jammed with him. There's me, Post, and John Mayer, which was really cool.
Yeah,
we did that song of his, Congratulations. We did it at the Forum at a John Mayer show, which was cool. And then this came about. Just got a phone call saying, "Yo, we've got a song called Tommy Lee. Would you want to remix it?" And I was like, "Let me think about it." Okay.
And lastly, I am from Canada, so I got to touch on this. I am not a fan of your president at all, and you've been very vocal about him too. So I want to applaud you for being able to come out and on the way you do, because it's crazy. I wish you guys so much luck in November. I really do.
Man, thanks, dude. We need it, man. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. It's like, I know the rest of the world just going like, what are those guys doing over there?
Yeah.
You know, like you're so lucky that he's not your president.
I got to tell you, man, like I'm very grateful to be in Canada right now. But but I'm also an eternal optimist, so I think things will get better. And you do have to hit a bottom. You have to hit a bottom. I just hope there's no trapdoor.
Yeah.
It's been so nice to catch up with you again, my friend.
Yes, likewise, bro.
And I wish you nothing but continued success. I can't wait till people hear this October 16th, and stay in touch. And I can't wait till 2021 to see you do whatever you're going to do with that crazy drum kit.
Yeah, Jason, good to see you, bro.
You too, man. All the best.
Be cool.
Thank you, bud.
I'll see you, man.
Take care.
You too, buddy.